it can start out, on Mad Men, it would be a couple of weeks of what we call blue skying. And Matt would usually come in with major goalposts that he felt like the season should hit. See, at the end of season 6, Don gets fired from his agency because he has had a meltdown in a pitch to Hershey, a very important client. And he takes his children back to the flop house where he was raised. At the beginning of season 6, Matt came in with, this is where the season is going. Matt, he is going to get fired. He's going to take his kids to his house. And so then everyone looks at each other like, oh my God, how do we get him there? It's like, well, that's the work. Now, how do we get him there? And then, so Westworld, I was going to say, Westworld is also a situation where the showrunners, Jonah and Lisa, come in with goalposts. Very similarly, they know how they think the season should evolve. They have a starting point that they were interested in, and they have a goal for a couple of the characters and a goal for the major ideas of the show, what the show is going to express. But an interesting thing about Westworld, because it's so complicated, is that there are discoveries along the way that change the design. And I think that that's one of the reasons that Westworld is able to, like, the stories just stay complicated throughout. That's just by its design. The creative process throughout is just constantly shifting and changing. There are new, as you're breaking episode 2, you're coming up with so much material for episode 2 that some of it is going to spark, like, you know what, actually, I didn't see that journey. When we were talking about the season, I didn't even see this possibility until this nuanced conversation about this timeline in this episode. And now this little idea has these huge ramifications for the season. So it is a more dynamic and always alive process. So the season itself is always shifting as you're writing episodes. That's unique for me in terms of other shows. I mean, there's always change. You will sometimes set an end game at the beginning, and then by the time you get there, you realize you've taken a different path than maybe you thought you would. But Westworld was a particularly dynamic, creative process, for sure.